I am Cam Rogers. Check me out on Twitter at Mr. Rogers99. Let's get into the latest Kawhi Leonard rumors now. And, well, we'll start off with a pretty fat one. The Toronto Raptors are considered the favorite to land Kawhi. Now, the latest Vegas odds have the Raptors at even money, with the Celtics at plus 800, Lakers at plus 500, the 76ers at plus 800 as well. So you look at these Vegas odds, guys, and they're pretty staggering because it's the Raptors at even money, and then it's San Antonio at plus 400, so a big-time gap here. And, oh, by the way, the LA Clippers, for some crazy reason, I understand that Kawhi wants to go to LA, but I don't think he wants to go play for the Clippers. And then look at the 76ers at plus 800. The Celtics didn't even make the board here. They're at plus 800, though, right with the 76ers, tied for fifth. So it's just a big-time drop-off now all of a sudden from Toronto to San Antonio. And then the list goes on from there. And it makes you wonder if Toronto is going to be dealing either DeMar DeRozan or Kyle Lowry, or even both of those guys. So maybe San Antonio all of a sudden is perking up their ears and saying, well, okay, we'll listen to offers involving Kyle Lowry or DeMar DeRozan. Now, new head coach Nurse there, a lot of faith in him to kind of change things up in that franchise. And I don't know if this is the right way to go about it. If you're Toronto, I'm firmly in the camp that I think the Raptors should keep Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan and not shell out some crazy deal to acquire Kawhi Leonard. But I'll tell you what, this would be a crazy plot twist. I think that's the best way to put it, because we've been talking about the 76ers and the Boston Celtics and, heck, maybe even San Antonio to keep Kawhi Leonard, and the LA Lakers, of course, as well. Really have not been talking much about the Toronto Raptors, and here they are, all of a sudden, the Vegas favorite to land Kawhi Leonard. So, crazy stuff right now. How about Markelle Fultz? Will he be involved in a deal with the San Antonio Spurs? Sounds like he is not. Little update here from ESPN's Zach Lowe reporting the Sixers haven't included Markelle Fultz in any trade talks with the San Antonio Spurs. He added Philly isn't even sure if the Spurs want Markelle. Now, Fultz was last year's first overall draft pick, of course, could be considered untouchable in a sense, and he needs to improve his shot a little bit, and I think there's still plenty of improvement for this guy going forward, and I think the ceiling is still very high, and I think that's why the 76ers don't want to trade him along with the likes of Embiid and Simmons. These guys just aren't touchable at this juncture. And it may not even make sense for the Spurs to take Fultz because they already have a young point guard, DeJounte Murray. So I'm going to get to a couple trade packages later in the show involving the 76ers, and you may see Mr. Markelle Fultz involved. You may not. You'll see it later in the show. But in terms of Kawhi Leonard, where do you think he's headed? I want you guys hitting me up with your predictions here on the program. I'll be tracking what you guys say and, of course, be answering any questions you guys may have. Hit me up on social media for those. All right, folks, you're watching the Cam Rogers Show, presented by AutoList. Are you looking for a used or new car out there, and you're tired of browsing a million sites? Go to Autolist.com to browse the largest source of inventory on the web, or download their top-rated mobile app for iPhone or Android today. All right, folks, I am Cam Rogers. You can get me on Instagram as well at Mr. Rogers98, so one tick down from 99. I'm trying to catch up to Jordan Giorgio on Instagram. She's at 64K. I'm at like 500. So help me out a little bit here, guys. I think I look a little better nowadays with my Mediterranean skin that I got going on right now. So get me those followers. Hashtag catch up to Jordan Giorgio. All right, so some more Kawhi Leonard rumors. No urgency from the Lakers side right now. That's the buzz out of ESPN, according to Woj, who's reporting the Lakers are not necessarily chomping at the bit to get a Kawhi Leonard deal done here. And I understand this because the Lakers would sacrifice a lot of leverage if they appeared urgent. You guys remember a couple of episodes ago that I talked about how the Spurs had the leverage to get a deal done because everybody was frantically figuring out where's LeBron James going, where's Kawhi going, where's PG-13 going. Now at this point, guys, the leverage for the Spurs has diminished because now we're in a situation where the dominoes have fallen in a sense. We know where PG is going to be, Oklahoma City. We know where LeBron's going to be, LA. All right, so teams now know some of the results from some of these big-time potential free agents and free agents. Chris Paul back with the Rockets. KD back with the Warriors. And so all of a sudden the Spurs, I think, would be looking at themselves in the mirror saying, well, crap, we can't go into this season with Kawhi on this team because we know he's going to walk into free agency and we get no compensation. So at this point, if you're San Antonio, you better be busting your butt to get a trade done now, whether it's with the LA Lakers or the Boston Celtics or the 76ers, heck, the Toronto Raptors, who appear to be the favorite according to Vegas. But if San Antonio just lets this kind of go on and on and on, eventually a deal won't get done. Kawhi's going to drag his feet through the 2018-2019 campaign with the Spurs and then just go ahead and join the Lakers in 2019, and then you have the Lakers as a legit NBA Finals threat. That's the scenario we're staring at right now in terms of Kawhi. So San Antonio needs to get going. All right, so how about this? Kawhi Leonard was actually spotted in Vegas pretty recently. Of course, Vegas, home of the Summer League. Here is the picture. There is Kawhi. Now, he's obviously, as you can see in that picture, not in a meeting, not engaging in dialogue with the Spurs GM Buffett or anything like that. But there is the narrative that Kawhi could be trying to meet with league executives while he is in Vegas there. But also, every NBA GM is there right now, so he may not be searching for one specific GM. Maybe he's just there to kind of, do his homework a little bit and meet with several GMs. I don't know exactly what the motivation is. This could be absolutely nothing, too, where Kawhi just happens to be in Vegas and he was hanging out with some of his buddies. I believe DeJounte Murray was involved. Rudy Gay was involved as well. They were spotted at the Summer League, too. So it could just be a matter of Kawhi Leonard just hanging out with friends, and that's about it. But Kawhi, obviously, the story of the NBA offseason to this point, especially with the whole LeBron James decision out of the way. And with Kawhi here still sitting in purgatory, it's interesting hearing all the different perspectives in terms of what could happen. I mentioned one earlier in the previous rumor that it could just be he plays with the Spurs, he walks into free agency, he joins the Lakers. There could be some crazy scenario where the Raptors just offer a treasure chest for the Spurs, and the Spurs can't deny it, and they get a deal done, and there are the 76ers and the Celtics and the Lakers being like, well, crap, we missed out on that. But still, it could be a one-year rental for the Raptors if they do acquire Kawhi Leonard. Because if you look at these teams here, which team is Kawhi most likely to extend with, to re-sign with? The LA Lakers, obviously at plus 500 odds. I think second would probably be the 76ers. I think there's an opportunity for Kawhi to fall in love with Philadelphia. I think third would actually be Boston. And then maybe Toronto. Because I don't think Kawhi would actually be willing to remain in Canada. Nothing against Canada or anything like that. But if you want to be in LA, you don't want to be in Canada. I don't think Canada would be the next best thing if you want the LA scene. All right, so that's just kind of how I see it with Kawhi at this point. Be sure to let me know where you think he's going, guys. Hit me up in comments on Facebook Live as well as YouTube Live.